Ireland make a statement as they start their Six Nation defence against France. My name is Mark, let's talk rugby. In this game, France actually made a lot of the early running in the opening kind of 4 or 5 minutes. And we have an early wayward kick from James Lowe that allows France to run the ball back at Ireland. France are finding space, they're making ground, and, especially out on the wing, but Ireland, they're managing to contain them as well. France make a bit of a break, but Ireland managed to force Pinot out. And then Ireland just start then to just take a little bit of control of the game. They get a penalty for offside. They decide to go to the corner. It's not as clean as they'd like, but they do manage to set up a maul. France, though, halted well. Ireland then truck it up. We got McCarthy with some great carries. They then force a penalty, and Crowley gets to settle his nerves with an early kick from the tees, 3-0 Ireland lead. I thought Crowley overall, had an excellent game. There were some issues as well, but he's a young player and he's got plenty of confidence. And at times maybe a few wrong decisions, but overall you got to say he was excellent. Then New Ireland captain Peter Manny gets over the ball. He was a penalty for Ireland after the restart. And then we have one of the big incidents in the game. Wilmse goes to the bin after a shoulder-to-head contact on Andrew Porter. And, that was on a clear-out. Porter goes for an HIA. That goes then to the bunker for review. And now Ireland have 10 minutes, a man up. Ireland then begin to apply pressure. They're pinning France in their own half. They're finding space. And, they've got numbers outright in the 22, but then Crowley, he's out on the left and he goes for a grubber through that doesn't quite come off. France go quickly and they relieve the pressure. And then we find out after review that it's going to stay a yellow card for Wilmse, as there was a drop in height from Porter before contact. Ireland then, they strike just as it looked like France were actually going to see out that yellow card period without conceding. And Aki with some great involvements in this. First of all, a nice ball at the back to create space for Lowe. We got Crowley involved in there. Then Aki's in there again. He straightens up the attack and makes it a burst through that defence, gets in behind, gets his hands free as well, out of the tackle. There's 2 players on him, gets to Jameson Gibson Park, who goes over to score. Crowley converts and it's 10-0 to Ireland. Crowley then almost puts Aki through a massive hole on the edge of the 22. Doesn't quite go to hand. There was, a knock on from Dante in there, and Ireland, you can see that they're stretching that French defence and really are causing them trouble. Then Van der Fleer, he gets held up over the line by Olivon and Lucu. France then hanging on, and you feel like if they can keep Ireland out, they're the type of team that can find a way back into this game. But Ireland are still applying that pressure. Crowley then has a chance to stretch that lead from the tee, but he misses a penalty to the right that I would have said for his player of his ability was pretty kickable. And at that time you're thinking every point could be crucial in this game. France then win a couple of penalties themselves, and then Ramos strokes one over from 40 metres plus to make it 10-3, and France really are still in the game. They're still in touch, and you can never kind of rule them out, once they're kind of a score or 2 behind. Ireland, they come on attack again to put it through the hands. Crowley is to the fore. He's pulling the strings. There's some great carries from Doris, Van der Fleer, Nash is involved in there. McCarthy, who had just an amazing game in the second row. That guy's come on so much in the last year. Nash, as I said, off his wing. Crowley then puts Byrne through a hole and he gallops under the post to score. Crowley converts for 17-3, and it's Ireland, they're so clinical when they're getting those chances and getting in behind. Wilmse then gets himself in trouble again with another high hit, this time on Doris. It's a yellow card, so he's off because it's a second yellow, so it's a red for him anyway, but it does go to the bunker for review because it could have been a straight red anyway, and then that would obviously impact in terms of the discipline rather than the rest of the game. France down to 14 though for the rest of this game then. Have a series of penalties for France that allows them to kick into the corner, and they have a real chance to respond. Byrne though steals the line out for Ireland, and he's just having a stormer as well. Like, you know, you could see like I felt at the start of the season he wasn't really having the impact he was. I think we talked to Caelan about this actually when we were talking about the Champions Cup, and the fact that he was beginning to come back to form, and boy did he hit form in this game, and it's great to see him back at that level. Ireland then force another line out error for France as France are trying to get some kind of foothold in the Irish half, but it's not really working out for them. And you know, offensively and defensively, that Ireland line-out is working so much better than we've seen any of the provinces go this year, and so much better than we've seen the Ireland line-out go for a while as well. It kind of struggled a little bit in the World Cup, and you can see that that's an area that they really worked on, and they kind of reaped the reward of that, I think, in this game. And from here then, France with another chance from a scrum penalty. They go up the line. They need something here. Halftime is approaching. Looks like they're going to exploit some space at wide, but Keenan just with a massive tackle kills the momentum on that. Then we come back because Andrew Porter was offside. France go to the corner. They then win another penalty. They quick tap that. Mwabaka stopped just short. Antonio has a go, but he's also stopped. Then they go out wide, and that man Pernod gets over to score. Pernod he's one of those guys where, if he's playing in the game, you almost could just give him a try at the start, because he's going to get one anyway. So he gets his try in the game. Ramos then adds the extras, and it's 17-10 at half time, and France really are feeling like, although they're down to 14 players, they're not out of this yet. Just before then, the second half starts. We find out that Wilms's yellow card is upgraded to a red. Again, it has no real effect on the game, but it does mean some possible disciplinary trouble for him, and maybe a ban, maybe him missing most of the rest of the tournament. McCarthy then gets pinged, and Ramos has a chance to cut the lead even more, but this one goes wide from him, and the margin is still 7 points. Andrew Porter then gets over the ball, wins a penalty for Ireland. It was good to see, some impact from him around the park here, and at times under a little bit of pressure in the scrum, especially when that new French front row come on. But overall, I thought he was pretty decent, and Ireland then can relieve some pressure because France really were applying it on them in those opening minutes. Then Ireland put it through the hands in the French 22. Some great carries from Doris. McCarthy's in there again. They suck in that defence, then spun out wide. Henshaw punches up close to the line, offloads off the deck. The ball is spun out to Nash, and he goes over in the corner. Crowley nails the touchline conversion. It's 24-10. Ireland stretching away again. And it was key, I think, today for Ireland was that they were always, responding to the French scores and going again. We've seen previously, Irish teams and Irish provinces in this position in France where, they've got a lead, and then if they don't respond and get the score, and France get the score instead, suddenly the game is so tight, maybe tied up, and the momentum was completely gone away from them. But they did so well just to keep that scoreboard ticking over, and it wasn't just threes. There was plenty of tries that they were scoring in, and that was very important because it made it even tougher for France, because every time France scored, Ireland would score again, and then they'd have to go again. And France always knew that they needed those 2 tries, converted tries, to just get back level. And that breathing room really was crucial for Ireland, I felt. Ireland have a penalty chance. It gets reversed because Crowley took a man out in the air. Then Byrne gives away another penalty, and France, they go to the corner. We France then, they go to the maul. Ireland collapse it illegally. France pounding away at the line. Then we have a TMO review because it looks like they got over. The online decision is try from Carl Dickinson. And, the replays then are inconclusive whether, there was no grounding or lost forward or anything like that. So we stick with the on-field decision, which I think was very fair because referee, he said he saw grounding. So you've got to, go with that. I think you can't be kind of second guessing it when there isn't any conclusive evidence. So it's a try. Ramos converts it then. And we're back to 24-17. France aren't going away. The man mountain then, who is Pobolo Tuilagi, comes on. I think son of Henry Tuilagi. Guy's just massive. I know they use him as a battering ram a few times as well in that second half. He's in the second row. France also changed their entire front row, and they start, paying dividends in the scrum for them. Ireland, though, after that initial impact from France of winning a couple of penalties at the scrum because of those changes, Ireland then kind of settled the scrum down a little bit themselves, and it was a good response from them, especially when the Irish replacements came on in that front row as well. Lowe then with a great defensive read, and Ireland managed to get a turnover. It was one of those ones where if you got it wrong, France are away, they're down the pitch and they're scoring, and suddenly Ireland are in all kinds of trouble because France now could have been back level, but he did really well there. Pinot then gets penalised and Crowley kicks to the corner. Sheehan hits his man. Ireland set up the maul. Sheehan's there at the back. Over the go. Sheehan scores the bonus point try. Crowley again converts from out wide, 31-17. And, it feels like, again, that thing of Ireland being able to respond every time and just not let France get any kind of real sniff of being able to get back on level terms. Then we have Laguerre and Biel Biarri off the bench of France. They had some real positive impact for them, but it felt like, with France's attack, that did so much talent to that back line, but Ireland looked comfortable in defence really against them, and France looked very blunt in attack. There were individual breaks and stuff like that, but it wasn't very joined up, and it felt like that, they had tons of talent, but no real kind of, their attacking system itself wasn't creating gaps and chances for them. It was just individuals with little bits of skill, whereas Ireland, their attacking system was just stretching that French defence, creating holes. Guys are going through it, and the difference in the two ways of approaching it in this game really showed there, I felt. And Ireland, obviously, the ones that came out on top in that little duel. Then we have Conan with just a lovely little kick in behind that forces Jalabert to kick it into touch in his own 22. Ireland then have a nice attacking line out. Crowley, Ireland spread the ball, then Crowley's on the other side of the pitch. He goes for a crossfield kick, but he doesn't actually have anyone out on the wing that he's kicking out to. We expected James Lowe to be out there, but he wasn't there. France then kicked the ball back to Ireland. Ireland, come back up low with a nice kick. Fiku gets cut offside from that, and it's a penalty to Ireland with less than 5 minutes to go. Crowley kicks that into the corner. They set up the maul. France can't hold them out. Kelleher is on there at hooker. He's at the back, and he's the one that goes over to score. Crowley converts for 38-17, and now, as Irish fans, we can breathe a sigh of relief because France are an amazing team. They can score a couple of tries in a heartbeat, but now they've got to score 3 in 3 minutes, and that's just not going to happen. So we know the game is won, and other people will be saying, well, the game was won ages ago. What are you talking about? But you don't know France if you think that. If they needed a couple of tries in the last 3 minutes, they could still do it. France then do have a chance for a consolation score. They kick a penalty into the corner. Clock's in the red. Line-out kind of misfires a little bit. Ireland then win the ball back from them on the deck. Get it off the pitch. Famous win down in Marseille, 38-17. Really well deserved for Ireland. great performances. Oh, sorry, just hit my wardrobe. But great performances all across the pitch from Ireland. Too many to mention. So I'm not going to go through the whole team because I will leave somebody out. But yeah, just amazing. But a special mention for two players, Ty Byrne, who was just absolutely immense, and then Joe McCarthy, who won man of the match. That guy, he's a superstar in the making, and it's just he just come on so much in the last year. And it's great to see that, because I felt that this Ireland team, they needed fresh blood in there just to kind of shake things up a little bit and have more competition in there. And we have that now, and it's great to see. But we're going to look at some of the stats from the game. So we're going to start with attack. If I can actually pull it up here. Yep, here we are. Okay, so possession, first of all, 44% for France, 56% for Ireland. Ireland holding on to the ball, and really kind of making France work for their possession and for their territory. Tries scored, 2 from France, 5 from Ireland. Carries 93 to 112. Meters carried 483 for France, 688 for Ireland. Meters gained 319 for France, 397 from Ireland. So Ireland, even though France had massive units everywhere along the pitch, Ireland actually doing better on the punch, and also punching and then attacking space as well. Really did, like, that combination for Ireland worked so well, whereas France tried to do the same thing, like massive units punching up, sucking into defence, then spin it out wide for just that backline dripping and talent. Didn't really work for them today. Line breaks then, 5 for France, 6 for Ireland. Defenders beaten 20 each. Offload, 7 for France, 3 for Ireland. None of the French offloads all that memorable, honestly, to me. The most memorable offload of the game, 2 of them actually. Bunyaki out of the tackle to put Gibson Park over to score. Then Henshaw off the deck that led to that score from Nash in the corner. So just really incisive on attack from Ireland. And, the offloads, 2 of the 3 offloads just counted so much in the game. We'll have a look then at some of the kicking stats. So kicking play, 20 for France, 33 for Ireland, which is kind of strange because France last year absolutely kicked the leather off the ball in the Six Nations and in the World Cup. They kicked for the most meters compared to any other team in those tournaments. Tonight, though, only 619 metres kicked from them, 968 for Ireland. And I think the fact that Ireland were able to find that space, that they had that big boot from low. They had kicking option as well. They had Gibson Park there. They had Conor Murray when he came on, Crowley kicking as well. Plenty of clever kicks into space as well. Some a bit kind of duff, but overall pretty decent. Then onto defence. So tackles made, 142 for France, 113 for Ireland, 20 tackles missed each. France tackling at 85 or 88%, Ireland at 85%. So Ireland a little bit down, but Ireland, their defence isn't always about that first line. It's the scramble in behind, and they did that really well. That's why, for the most part, those line breaks that we talk about for France didn't lead to anything, because that scramble is just so good from Ireland. Then if we have a look at discipline, so penalty conceded, 8 for France, 12 for Ireland. So Ireland on the wrong side of the penalty count, but still coming out on the right side of the game. They will want to work on that, though, and trying to reduce that and maybe be around that 8 that France got in their next couple of games. Then we obviously had 1 yellow card each, and then that red card for Wilmse as well. Then if we look at the breakdown, so Rooks won 73 to 92. No big surprise that Ireland love to recycle the ball. 4 Rooks lost to 2, so Ireland coming out on top there as well. And then Rooks that were 0 to 3 seconds, 54% for France, 56% for Ireland. Both these teams play with really high tempo, and that's why, you know, they get that clean ball out there, and then they can stretch the defence. If Ireland did it, the better of the two teams tonight. Breakdown steals then 2 for France, 3 for Ireland. Mauls won 7 to 5. France coming out on top of that, but they lost 1 maul to 0 as well. So pretty close actually on the maul side of things, and obviously, you know, a couple of tries for Ireland coming from that as well. On to set piece then. Scrums won 2 to 5. Ireland losing the 1 scrum. I think that was where they Porter went down on the engage, and then they conceded penalties. Pretty sure that was it. Lineouts won then 14 to 3, but lineout lost 4 for France, 0 for Ireland. Lineout steals 0 for France, 2 for Ireland. So Ireland's lineout going immensely better than we've seen it in a long time there, and a really massive performance from them. And just to wrap up, like France, some decent individual performances. They're a really talented team. Just because they lost 1 game doesn't mean they're out of this either. They'll be looking for the likes of England and a few others as well to do them a favour, to beat Ireland and give them a chance to go for that title in that kind of potential, still I think potential title decider between them and England on the last weekend. But Ireland, they started with a win, and it's not just kind of, Ireland are I say used to. What I mean is, like, if Ireland win in France, we're used to it being like a very tight affair, and sweating on it, maybe like drop goal after how many million phases it was when Sexton dropped that one a few years ago. That kind of thing where France always have that chance to pip us at the end, or we have to fight our way back to actually win it. But this one, I can't remember like a more comfortable win for Ireland in Paris. Like, you're going back to Brian O'Driscoll's hat-trick, those kind of years. But even then, that game wasn't won at a canter. This one, we still had to work really hard for it, but we looked comfortable throughout. And that really just sent a message, I think, to the rest of the teams in this tournament that Ireland have the trophy, and you're going to have to prize it out of our hands, and you're going to need more than France brought tonight.